Welcome to Breffni Park for the Under-14 Championship final of 1994 between the Cavan Gaels team and the young lads from Den. And both teams about to go back into the positions here at Breffni Park this afternoon. The referee out in the middle, Michael Henry from Belturbet, about to officiate in this game. Of course, the Den team in the traditional maroon, Cavan Gaels in the blue and white down to our left, but now they're filtering back the length of the field as they go to take up their positions. Mentors heading off the field. Gloomy, overcast day here in Breffni Park. In the middle of the field for the Gaels team is Carol Crotty and Paul McCartney. In the middle of the field for Den is Fergal Brady and Michael McDermott. Michael Henry just signalling that he wants the ball be thrown across to him now, and he's just about receiving it in the centre of the field, testing it to see if the pressure's okay. Now checking his watch. And very, very shortly, the Under-14 Championship final will be underway. The ball is in, and the game is on. A free straight away awarded. There is shoving there against the Cavan Gaels man, and quickly taken by the Den team out to the far side of the field, taken by Fergal Brady. Comes back to Fergal now, toe to hand, turning inside and kicks it across about 45 metres out as Den go on the attack with the other midfielder, Michael McDermott. Michael McDermott, the red-haired player. Michael lofts it in. Is it going to curl enough? It has. It's gone over the bar for the first goal of the game. A great point scored by Michael McDermott. We make it 30 seconds gone. Great inspirational start for a team always to get a score in the opening seconds of a game. Ball placed for the kick out to be taken by Owen Elliott from the 20-metre line. Drills it out to the 45, but Brian Smith is waiting for it. Transfers it back out to the scorer a moment ago, McDermott. Out now to Fergal Brady. Fergal lost this one in. It's over the bar for the second score of the game, scored by Fergal Brady, and a great start for the Den team. 2 points for Den, no score for Cavan Gaels, just over a minute gone. Kick out by Owen Elliott into the centre of the field, and the Gaels now trying to get their first attack going. They haven't had the ball down this side of the field at all as Richard Graham tries to pick the ball up. Gives it back now to Carol Crotty, and Carol transfers the ball diagonally across to the far side of the field. Racing out for it is Colin Kernan. Going down on the ball partially, but nipping in there is Jonathan Geeney. Back to Charlotte Smith, and Charlotte going over the 70. Out to Carol Crotty, going a soloing, 45 metres out, 30 out. Carol lobs it in, looks a speculative shot in, and it drops just ominously out over the end line and wide, and it seemed to be perilously close to the goal there, but just went wide. A yawning goal as the ball went right across in front of it. Ball placed on the edge of the square for the kick out, and taking it is David Costello. Tom Walsh steps out of the way. The man from Wexford. Ball kicked high to the 45-metre line. Bounces once. The Gaels retrieve it first. Jonathan Geeney selling a dummy, but he sold one too many there, and it's a free. Initiates a movement now from the Den team down towards David Costello. Out to the midfielder, Fergal Brady. Fergal drops it in, and the goalkeeper has it. Almost let it stop, but seals it on the line and comes away and clears it out to the far side of the field. Hops once, twice, and a third time. Close to the line on the far side. And Charlotte Smith out there to pick it up. Apparently it had gone over the line. Quickly taken down now towards Colin Kernan. Colin Kernan, oh, he was being pushed there as he tried to get the kick, but the referee lets the play go on, and Cavan Gaels come away with the ball. Darren Rabbit being fouled as he tried to get the kick away. Free from where the ball landed and is played on now by Paul O'Donnell. Going over the 70-metre line, giving it out to the centre. Centre half forward, Paul O'Donnell. Pull, toe to hand, looking up before he transfers it. Another solo, a hop, a kick, and it's gone wide. Paul's accuracy didn't concur with his approach work, and the ball going wide. David Costello taking all the kickouts for the Den team this afternoon. Wearing gloves. Believe it or not, the overnight dew and rain hasn't disappeared off the pitch. No, little or no sun. So it's leaving the top of the sward rather slippery as Martin Smith grabs the ball for Den. Knocked away from him and Cavan Gaels grab it now. Cormac Nelligan. Cormac trying to pick the ball up. Gives it back towards Paul Flynn. Paul Flynn across into the centre. Den man waiting for it there. David Keoghan transfers it out to the 45-metre line. But a Cavan Gaels man retrieving the ball. Richard Graham to Carol Crotty. Crotty takes a shot and sends it wide. Not great marksmanship by the Cavan Gaels young lads in the opening 5 minutes. In stark contrast, 2 raids by the Den team yielded 2 scores in the first 90 seconds. Kick out by David Costello. Out to the 45-metre line, well taken down by Paul McCartney, but he was adjudged to have been pushing there, and it's a free for Den just inside the 45-metre line. Well taken away by David Keoghan, but back come Dominic Riley for Cavan Gaels, dropping it in 35 metres out. Den defence playing well, played away. Carl Kernan down now towards Martin Cal. Cal across towards Fergal Brady. Fergal Brady drifts the ball out to about 35 metres out, pops up in the air of a young lad's chest there. Waiting for it is Mark Score for Cavan Gaels. Oh, a bad kick by Mark, half blocked down. As Brian Smith for Den nips in. Toe to hand, and his kick is blocked down by Charlotte Smith. Charlotte coming away, and he's taking the ball out over the line. Going to be a line ball for Den, far side of the field. And the referee just checking a player being injured down here on our left. Cormac Nelligan receiving some treatment, seems to have sustained a facial injury down on our left. Ball down about 35 metres out as Michael McDermott sends it in high for Den. It looks another good one, and it's over the bar. Brilliant scoring by the midfielders for Den. That's his second point of the game. We make it 7 minutes gone. 3 points for Den, no score for Cavan Gaels. Kick well driven out by Darren Rabbit out to the 45-metre line. Bit of pushing there intimates the referee going to be a free for Den just outside the 45. Fergal Brady lofts it in about 13 metres out. Well taken away there by Colin McArdle for Cavan Gaels. And the Gaels defenders now coming away with the ball. Bad kick there by Shane McGlade. Going astray. Being retrieved by Colin McArdle once again, and apparently he tried to lift the ball off the ground, and it's a free in for Den. Quickly taken by Brian Smith. Cross into the centre now to Fergal Brady, the midfielder, onto the left foot, lobbing it in. Number 13, Paul Ferguson, trying to get a fist to it, but didn't connect with the ball, and it goes out over the end line and goes wide. Kick out to the 45-metre line. Taking it down is Colin Kernan. Being pushed in the back, another free for Den. He takes it quickly into the centre to Fergal Brady, the midfielder. Fergal looking in towards the goal, and it's over the bar. Brilliant point scored by Fergal Brady there. That's 4 points from the midfielders, 2 points apiece. 2 for Fergal Brady and 2 for Michael McDermott. And we make it 9 minutes gone in the first half, and Cavan Gaels have yet to score. just been told that the midfielders are wearing different numbers. We have 2 points apiece, but I may have credited them, the wrong guys, with the points. But overall, they've got them this time. A shot in towards the goal, but it's half blocked down. Free for Den. Fergal McConnell takes it. Referee spotted another infringement there. Not a legitimate pass, apparently. Free out for Cavan Gaels. 30 metres out from their own goal. Taken out to the side of the field towards Shane McGlade. Richard Graham trying to move, giving more momentum to the Cavan Gaels team, trying to drive them forward now, and Paul McCartney racing after it for the Gaels team. Midfielder being fouled there in a free for Cavan Gaels. Lobbing it in, speculative shot in about 13 metres out. Well taken down there by Ronan Kernan, full back for Den. Lofts it out to the far side of the field, bounces a couple of times before it goes out over the line. Going to be a line ball for Cavan Gaels, 70 metres from their own goal. Paul O'Donnell racing down for it, trying to tap it with his boot. Doesn't come up for him the first time, it does the second. He's being fouled, pulled by the jersey, and a free in for Cavan Gaels. Is this an opportunity for them to get their first score? Lobbed across into the centre by Paul. Goes now to Cormac Nelligan, a shot, and he sent it wide. Oh dear. 11 minutes gone, and Cavan Gaels have yet to score, and Den have 4 points on the board. Fergal Brady with 2 of those, and Michael McDermott with the other 2, both midfielders. Kick out to the 45-metre line. Nobody grabs it first time. Waiting for it is David McKernan. Takes the free away now towards Fergal Brady, and Brady plays it down about 45 metres out. Fisted on there by Shane Reel. Great into passing. Old McConnell across now to Shane Reel, and Shane has sent it wide. Good build-up by the Den team. Nice interpassing. But the approach work, while good, I'm sure they'll not be very, very happy with the finishing on that occasion. But 4 points on the board to Gaels' no score after 12.5 minutes. Suppose it's indicative of the trend of play at this stage, but Gaels trying all they know to get their first score. Stephen Gaffney being fouled, takes the free quickly down towards Cormac Nelligan, grabs the ball, gives it back down to Paul O'Donnell. Paul O'Donnell lobs it in, and it's over the bar for the first goal of the game for the Gaels. And it took all of 13 minutes for that first score to be registered for Cavan Gaels. Kick out, lands this time in the centre of the field. Picked up by Stephen Gaffney as it goes back behind the midfielders. Down to the corner now to Paul Flynn. Paul probes the ball through the centre towards Paul O'Donnell. The Gaels forwards beginning to liven up now. Back to Charlotte Smith. Charlotte lobs it in, and it's wide. Four points to 1 in favour of Den. Kick out to be taken from the edge of the square by Ronan Kernan. Referee spots an infringement. Free quickly taken away down to the opposing 70-metre line as the Gaels retrieve the situation and come back. Richard Graham racing after it for Cavan Gaels, taking the long ball from Shane McGlade across into the centre. Stephen Gaffney trying to pick it up there. Handles the ball on the ground. Free out for Den. Michael McDermott. That kick goes totally astray, way out towards the line on the far side. He wasn't very happy with that one, putting the hands up to the head when he kicked it. The Gaels retrieve it. Jonathan Geeney down into the corner. Well played away by Ronan Kernan. Michael McDermott there to pick it up. Pods it down now in front of Shane Reel, but the Gaels team beginning to liven up now as Carol Crotty, the midfielder, low trajectory kick off the edge of his boot, but it only finds Michael McDermott returning it with interest, down about 35 metres out, but waiting for it as Mark score for Cavan Gaels. Not great passing at the moment, a little bit scrappy. Colin McGard lets the ball drop over his head, but retrieves it and plays it low one out to this side. Well picked up there by Shane McGlade. David Costello for Den, big and strong, stopping it in 13 metres out. Waiting for this Darren Rabbit, he was being fouled, free from where the ball landed. Pushed unceremoniously in the back there as he come away to kick the ball. Paul O'Donnell going to take it. Down into the corner here as the Gaels go forward. Richard Graham. Deft little pass into the centre towards Stephen Gaffney. Stephen picks it up with the second attempt. Lobs it into the centre. Nobody underneath the first time. Ball falls there almost for Charlotte Smith. Paul Flynn trying to work his way through. Being fouled and a free in for Cavan Gaels. Dead straight in front of the goal. And Paul, so anxious to take it himself out of his hands, indicates that he is. He does that. He taps it over. Second score of the game for Cavan Gaels. 17 minutes gone. 2 points for the Gaels. Den with 4 points. David Costello placing the ball so carefully on the 20-metre line for the kick-out. Looking out towards his left this time, whether he'll aim the ball in that direction. Well, it dives right down the middle. Nobody grabs it first time. Racing after it now is Shane Reel. Turns one way and then the other. Right through the centre it goes towards Martin Cowell underneath it, but the Gaels man waiting for it there. Darren Rabbit out, 45 metres out. Stephen Gaffney picks it up, gives it through the centre now towards Paul O'Donnell. O'Donnell solos past one man. Down into the corner towards Paul Flynn. Back down towards Charlotte Smith. High and in and over the bar. Fine point. Good momentum to that movement, and Charlotte Smith sending it over. Gaels slowly but surely working their way back into contention. 1 point between them. Den 4 points. The Gaels 3 points. 18 minutes elapsed in the first half. David Costello once again take the kick out. Whoa, fine fielding there. The centre by Ronan Kernan, the fullback, but he gives the ball away. The referee's going to throw the ball up. Is he between them? He does, taken down by Stephen Gaffney. Plays the ball first time through the centre. But the Den men have it under control. Martin Smith there being pushed to the ground as he tried to come away. Takes the free quickly, but it's not well directed, very close to the line. Gone out for a Gaels ball. Paul McCartney taps it across. Paul Flynn trying to pick it up, but Paul has gone to the ground. Free in for Cavan Gaels, and little Paul at the heart of most of the Gaels' movements in these Last 10 minutes or so. Paul drops it in about 13 metres out. Off the ground, says the referee. He's intimated it's a free in for the Gaels. And Paul O'Donnell with the chance to equalise. Paul lofts it in out of his hands and over the bar. Sides level. That's Paul O'Donnell's second score of the game. 4 points apiece. 20 minutes gone almost in the first half. David Costello's kick out. Return with interest by the Gaels, and the heart of it again is Paul Flynn. Turns lovely inside his man there, past the second man. Gaels still going up past the goal. Great goal, crashed in by Cormac Nelligan. Oh, that's a great goal. There seemed to be no chance there. He just grabbed the ball from Paul Flynn, the pass in, and crashed it into the back of the net. The Gaels 1 goal and 4 points. Denn 4 points. 20 minutes gone in the first half. Real whirlwind comeback by Cavan Gaels. And the Gaels players now, great inspiration in their veins now as they all gain more momentum. They've taken the lead by 3 points. But the Den youngsters not finished yet. Martin Cal trying to get that ball, but it falls kindly for the Gaels man. The fullback, Darren Rabbit, waiting for it is David Costello, stopping it in, but Rabbit underneath it once again drops the ball. Paul Ferguson trying to get it across, does. Now towards Colin Kernan, his kick is blocked down. Colin trying to get the ball up again. Free in, Colin being fouled. Shane Reel intimating that you take it, Colin, and that's what he's going to do. The diminutive little player with the ball under his arm now comes up, makes contact. Good one, it's over the bar. Two points between them again. Good reply there by the Den team when the Gaels went ahead by 3 points, come down to get a score of their own. Kick out, lands about 45 metres out. Gaels player slipping but grabbing it nevertheless. Carol Crotty. Charlotte Smith grabbing it for the Gaels on the far side. Quick free by him as he was being pushed. Down to Stephen Gaffney. And that young man again, Paul Flynn, being fouled, gets up like a rubber ball, takes the free quickly. Now it's transferred across to Richard Graham. Toe to hand. Richard onto the left foot across into the centre, but there's no Gaels man there, and the ball drifts harmlessly across in front of the goal, and the goalkeeper, Martin McGovern, grabs it. Out to the 45-metre line. Martin Smith underneath it, plays a low one and a nice one. Out towards Colin Kernan. Shane Reel waiting for it and fists it on beautifully towards Martin Cowell. Martin Cowell, toe to hand, turns one way and then the other. Den team playing very well now. Fergal McConnell, foot pass across the far side, but direction not so good. Gaels team reading it well. Mark Score coming away. Mark is being pulled. Plays the free down along the far side. Overran by Paul Flynn. Coming away was Paul O'Donnell, but the referee intimates it's a free for Den all the while. Matty Kernan over on the far side of the field, intimating where the Denman should take the free from, and that he does. Ball eventually lands in about 35 metres out. Fergal Brady, a shot that's high, it's in, it's over the bar, a brilliant point scored by Fergal Brady, his third point of the game. 24 minutes gone. 1-4 for Cavan Gaels. 6 points for Den. That's 1 point between them. Fascinating exchanges so far. Just the kick of a ball between them. Michael McDermott, great skill, sending a dummy and turning inside, gives it now to Fergal Brady. Fergal is on the ground, trying to get it away to somebody. Does. Martin Cowell has got the ball. Martin shot is high. Is it the equaliser? It's over the bar. It is. 5 points scored by Martin Cowell there. Den back on parity with Cavan Gaels. 7 points for Den. 1 goal and 4 points for the Gaels. 25.5 minutes gone in the first half. 4 midfielders preparing to rise there, but it falls to the number 11, Paul O'Donnell of Cavan Gaels. Centre half forward now to the midfielder, Carol Crotty. Crotty going a soloing, 30 metres out. Crotty takes a shot that's wide. From the moment it left his boot, it was always going wide. Ball being placed by Mark Score, or David Costello, I should say, for Den for the kick out. Drills it low and the Gaels retrieve it there. Paul O'Donnell with the ball. Paul goes to the ground. He's being fouled. Free in for the Gaels. And every time the Gaels raid now towards the goal, the Den youngsters fouling them. They're running straight at the Den defence. Paul O'Donnell seems to have sustained an injury in his chest there as he took a heavy knock going through. For the Gaels, well kicked in by Cormac Nelligan. It's over the bar. But 2 minutes to go to half time. 1 goal and 4 points for Cavan Gaels. 7 points for Den. 1 point between them once again. Kick out is taken. Fisted down. Midfielder Paul McCartney. Plays it forward now. Richard Graham crossed into the centre. Half cleared there by Ronan Kernan. Picked up by Martin Smith. Gaels free. In now towards Flynn. Flynn trying to get a shot through. He's on the ground there. He was being pushed, I thought, but referee lets the play go on and the ball is played away. The Gaels retrieving it again with Shane McLeod, the little diminutive player, playing it forward. But the Den man waiting for it. The Den player down on the ground there. See, the Den player has sustained a head injury apparently out in front of us here. The number 10, Martin Cowell. He's going back and he's fit to resume his place once again. The free quickly taken down into the corner towards Richard Graham. Trying to tap the ball soccer style. But David Costello trying to come away. A jersey being pulled there on a Cavan Gaels player, and it's a free in for Cavan Gaels. Richard Graham is going to do the needful. The Gaels ahead by 1 point. Can he make it 2? Drifts it in. It's out over the end line. Over on the right there and gone wide. Always going across the face of the goal and going wide. We make it about 40 seconds overtime in the first half. Kick drilled out to the 45-metre line. Waiting for it there is Dominic Riley. Big, tall, strong player. Aiming it down towards Paul Flynn. Ball gone out over the line on the far side. Line ball for Den. Played straight to a Cavan Gaels player. Paul O'Donnell. Charlotte Smith across now to O'Donnell. Another goal! Another goal by Paul O'Donnell. A crashing shot. And that's as good a goal as you'd hope to see anywhere. Two goals and 5 for Cavan Gaels. 7 points for Den. 2 minutes overtime in the first half. That's a great tonic to get coming up to half-time. The Gaels now exerting their superiority in the game. Darren Rabbit trying to go back to retrieve the ball. Referee before that spotted an infringement, giving a free for Den. Paul Ferguson across into the centre, but he plays it to a marked man. And who's waiting for it? Only the Gaels player. The referee intimates that it's half-time. At half-time, it's Cavan Gaels, 2 goals and 5 points. Den, 7 points. That's 11 points. Or 6 and 5, 11 to 7. 5 points between them at half-time as the players go in for a deserved rest. Entertaining first half, but the Gaels exerting their superiority in the last 15 minutes of that first half. And the 2 goals from Paul O'Donnell and Cormac Nelligan, real killer blows for the Den team. Den have a lot of work to do in the second half to get back on parity and even go on and win the game, but there'll be a lot of motivation going on in the dressing room at half-time, I'm sure. But there you have it at half-time. Cavan Gaels, 2 goals and 5 points. Den, 7 points. We'll be back shortly with the second half. Here in Breffni Park as referee Michael Henry just checks around, make sure everything's in readiness for the second half. Lifts the ball, throws it in, second half is on. The Gaels on the attack straight away. Carol Trotty playing it through the centre, fisted in now by Paul O'Donnell. The shot by Stephen Gaffney, well taken by the goalkeeper Martin McGovern. Transfers it out to about 35 metres out. They're not out of the woods yet as Gaels come back again. Stephen Gaffney sends it high and over the bar. The first score of the second half comes after 26 minutes or seconds of play. Two 6 for the Gaels now, 7 points for Den. Kick out, drills, far side of the field. Paul McCartney trying to pick it up. Fergal Brady there as well. McCartney, big and strong, gets his kick in. Not well directed out over the line. Far side of the field. Carl Kiernan in possession. A line ball to be taken by David Costello. Into the centre. Shane Reel transferring the direction of the play across to this side of the field. Paul O'Donnell, the goal scorer in the first half, playing it through. Referee judges a free for Gaels, quickly taken away. Eventually finds Paul Flynn, ignites them every time he gets moving to Dominic Riley. Dominic Riley, a low shot, and it's half deflected by a Den defender. It's gone out for a 45. And if he hadn't to get a deflection to that, it could have cannoned anywhere. Seemed to be destined for the net from Dominic Riley, powering his way through the centre. Deflected out. The 45 to be taken by Carol Crotty. Paul McCartney running alongside. Is he going to think about a short one? No, he decides to run back and take a long one now. Drills it low, trajectory well taken out by the Den man. Waiting for it there. Out it comes. Centre of the field. Gaels playing havoc now in the centre of the field, winning most of possession, but they're passing not the best. That one high up in the air. Paul McCartney's passing not the greatest. Eventually finds in towards the goal there, but out they come. Roinn Kernan, the fullback, waiting for it. Plays it low down to this side of the field. Going, gone out over the line. Line ball for Gaels. Jonathan Geeney to take it. Small little player with the bicycle shorts inside his nicks. And once again, the line ball has to be taken by Paul McCartney, giving a signal inside. Den player receiving attention out in the middle is Fergal Brady. Seems to have sustained a mouth or eye injury, being attended to there. While another player's lace has been tied, that's Colin Kernan. While Matty does the necessary, ties his lace. Line ball taken by Paul McCartney. Racing after it is the full forward, Pádraig Nelligan, the goal scored in the first half. Back now to Dominic Riley, big and strong, trying to work his way through the centre there. Wasn't successful on this occasion. Secured his route on the ball, finds his way out to the far side towards Stephen Gaffney. Powers his way past one man. Stephen turns it in and sends it over the bar for a brilliant point scored by Stephen Gaffney from a very acute angle. His second point of the game. 2 goals and 7 for Cavan Gaels. 7 points for Den. 4.5 minutes gone in the second half. David Costello, busy man kicking out for Den. Takes the kick. Well, he thinks about it. He's going to place it again. And now he stands back. Right it goes into the centre of the field. Gaels grabbing it again. Paul McCartney being fouled. He's going to take the free himself. Intimates it's going to drop to the left. It does once and hops. It goes in behind the goalkeeper where it goes out over the end line. The goalkeeper advancing there didn't make a connection with the ball. Fortunately for him, the ball goes wide. Is there another Den player receiving some attention or in need of attention? Fergal Brady, the scorer of 3 points. The facial injury seems to be still annoying him. We don't know the exact nature of it, whether it's some dirt in the eye or whether it is actually a wound to the face. But he is going to continue. Meanwhile, Gaels player picking it up is Paul McCartney. Long one by McCartney from the free. Right in on the 30-metre line. But the 10 men waiting for it. The kick is blocked down. Comes back now to Cormac Nelligan. The shot that's wide. Cormac a snapshot there as he descended on the ball. Hadn't much time to think about where he was shooting. But the ball went wide. David Costello about to kick out from the edge of the square. Out it comes, 40 metres out. 10 men picking it up there is Martin Smith. Now down towards Shane Reel. Shane turning defence into attack. Well, momentarily anyway, as the Gaels man waits for it there. Colin McArdle. Way down into the corner goes the ball now. Back after it is David Costello trying to pick it up. And he does. Plays it out to the 45-metre line. Cahill Kiernan after it. Loses the ball momentarily. It shoots across into the centre now towards Cormac Nelligan. A probing ball in towards Paul Flynn. Paul underneath it. Paul is pushed to the ground there. And the Den defenders have it, and the ball is cleared away. Referee waving on the play there. Back come Cavan Gaels again. Paul McCartney probing it forward. Lovely dummy there by Paul Flynn. Then lofts it in left footed. Fisted out partially, but Paul O'Donnell trying to retrieve it. Taken off his boot. But the umpire intimates that it's gone out over the end line and gone wide apparently. Results in the kick out for David Costello and Denn. David standing well back behind the line. Kicked on its way and taken down by Cormac Nelligan. Cormac shot it in and over the bar. A brilliant point scored by Cormac Nelligan. That's a goal and 2 points for him in this game. 9 minutes gone in the second half. 2-8 for Cavan Gaels, 7 points for Den. The kick is going to be taken now from the 13-metre line, not a very long one. Comes back to Cormac Nelligan again. What a game he's having. Down into the corner. That man Flynn. Best little player to send a dummy, as I know, in Breffney Park today. Charlotte Smith being obstructed there on his way through. Oh, a lovely shot in towards the goal. Doesn't curl enough off the outside of his boot and goes wide from the free. Goalkeeper Martin McGovern stands on the line as David Costello's kick, the better one this time, out to the 45-metre line. Den having difficulty getting the ball past the 45-metre line for the last 7 or 8 minutes in the second half. Can they now thrill the ball down the field? No, they can't. The Gaels coming back. Greater strength and depth now. Down towards Paul Flynn. Flynn going for his first score. Or second score, I should say. And he's got it. It's over the bar. Paul Flynn flighting the ball delightfully over. 2 goals and 9 points for the Gaels. 7 points for Den. 11 minutes elapsed in the second half. Low trajectory on the kick out. Charlotte Smith wide awake to it, and Charlotte on the 13, 20, 13 now. Still going through. He's going in, and it's going to be a free in apparently on the 13-metre line, dead straight in front of the goal. Charlotte takes it himself and taps it over the bar for his second point of the game. 2 goals and 9 for the Gaels now. 7 points for Den. The game be getting a little bit predictable at the moment as Gaels exert complete superiority at the moment. Unless the Den team can move down the field, they badly need a goal or two, get back into contention. They're 8 points in arrears now.
Trying to do something about it is Colin Kiernan. The little tiger plays the ball forward. Now they come forward. The fullback, Roinn Kiernan, drilling his way past the 45-metre line. Rolling a couple of tackles, but not the last one, and a free for Den. Roinn plays a deft one with the left boot. Down towards Shane Reel. Back to Roinn. Ball doesn't go straight to him. Goes into the centre to Shane Reel. But the ball goes off him out over the end line and wide as Console let him down at the last moment. Owen Elliott, the Cavan Gaels goalkeeper, throwing it back to the fullback, Darren Rabbit. And Darren placing it on the edge of the square for the kick out. Comes out to Paul McCartney. Paul balloons the ball out over the line. Taken quickly by Martin Smith. Into the centre, Shane Reel trying to pick it up. Gills take it away. Carol Trotty down now towards Paul Flynn of the paint. Paul all the time. Intercepting this time is David Kiernan. David is on the ground, free out for Den. Quickly taken, but who does he give it to? Only Charlotte Smith. Charlotte working his way through two players there, being fouled, tugged by the jersey. Free in for Cavan Gaels. Michael Henry calling the Den full-back towards him. Roinn Kiernan having a word with them there. Must have said something to the referee. Charlotte Smith hits the post and goes wide. Score remains 2-9 for Cavan Gaels, 7 points for Den. Over 14 minutes gone in the second half. Kick out to the 45-metre line. Roinn Kiernan seems to move further out the field now as they endeavour to transfer the ball down the field. David Keoghan. But waiting for it is Colin McArdle. Long relieving clearance down towards Richard Graham. He runs onto it beautifully. Toe to hand. Controls it on the 13-metre line. Sends a dummy. Sends it in towards the goal. Paul O'Donnell has shot it. It's deflected. Has it gone wide? The umpire apparently says it has. I thought it was deflected by somebody. Apparently it has gone wide. Referee intimates exactly that. Kick out for them. David Costello's high kick. And all the time the Gaels players waiting for it on the 45-metre line, and Paul McCartney throws into the centre. Martin Smith trying to pick it up and does. But they're not getting the ball away far enough. Stephen Gaffney shot in just wide. Yeah, has it gone over the bar? It's just nipped inside the upright and the crossbar. Gone over the bar. Stephen Gaffney's third point of the game. 2-10 for Cavan Gaels. 7 points for Den. 16 minutes elapsed in the second half. There's a substitute going on the Den team, number 17. Willie, can you find out who that sub is there? The Den team. Who's gone off? Thomas Farley on the Den team, wearing number 17. Roinn Kiernan coming away with the ball, fisting it neatly forward into the path now of Shane Reel. Den on the attack now. Martin Cowell bundled to the ground, free in for Den. Martin Cowell going to take it. He's scored 1 point in this game so far. Lobs it in. Is this one on target? Dropping right in ominously in front of the goal. The fullback there, Darren Rabbit, thundering out and gets the ball away. Out to the far side of the field. Stephen Gaffney racing after it. The slightly more physical Cavan Gaels team more on top right through now in the second half. Cormac Nelligan. They're doing everything they can to move forward. Ronan Kernan seems to have moved into midfield for Den. Initiating more moves now. A taller, stronger player. Forward towards Michael McDermott. Takes a shot in and it's straight over the bar for a point. .210 for Gaels, 8 points for Den. 18.5 minutes gone in the second half. Cavan Gaels player seems to be receiving some attention, but only slightly injured. He's okay. It's Dominic Riley. Seems to be holding his right side at the moment. Maybe got a knock in the rib cage, but he's a strong player. There he's in the thick of the action again, but Den going forward now. Ronan Kernan throws the ball out towards Michael McDermott, and his kick is blocked down and goes back down to Brian Smith. Trying to initiate another move for them. But they're slightly going backwards at the moment. Martin Cowell. And the pass not legitimate, says the referee, Michael Henry. Free out for Gaels. Taken down to the centre of the field. Cormac Kernan clearing it away for Den. Hops once, Shane McGlade there after it. Shane picks it up beautifully, defending well on the half-back line. Down towards Richard Graham, having a great game for Cavan Gaels. Creating so many good moves on the forward line, still going 30 metres out. Lobs it in towards the goal, taken by the goalkeeper at the upright. And clears it out to the far side of the field. Picking up is David Costello for Den, but not fast enough to get the ball away. Referee intimates there's going to be a free in for Cavan Gaels on the 20-metre line. And Richard Graham going to take it. Almost 21 minutes gone in the second half. 2-10 for Cavan Gaels. 8 points for Den. Ball dropping in. 13-metre line. Ominously close to the goal, cleared away by the goalkeeper, Barton McGovern. Out they come now, trying to drive the ball down the field. Ronan Kernan across towards Shane Reel, passing the midfield area, back to Ronan Kernan. On the overlap, heading for the 45, being obstructed there. Free, going to be taken by Ronan himself. Dropping it in on the 20-metre line. Thomas Farley trying to pick it up, the substitute. Gives it back now towards Michael McDermott. Michael McDermott shot is high, it's over the bar for a point. And that's Den's second score of the second half. .210 for Cavan Gaels, 9 points for Den, 7 points between them. Just checking the scores there, it's apparently 2-11 for Cavan Gaels, 9 points for Den. Just checking through my score list, 2-11 is indeed correct for Gaels. 9 points for Den. Denn going forward now. Shane Reel. Shane Reel sends it high and sends it over the bar.
Come on,
2-11 to 10 points. 23 minutes gone in the second half. Midfielder Carol Toddy discarding his gloves. Another substitute on the Den team, number 19 is on. Desmond Garrity on the Den team. Roland Kernan has shot it in and it has gone wide. Desmond Garrity, is it on? Yeah, Desmond Garrity on. Dermot needs it on. Ball about 45 metres out. Den initiating some great moves. A final rally now, trying to hold themselves back on parity, but there's a yawning gap between them of 7 points. 2-11 to 10 points. 6 minutes left. Ball drilled into the right of the goal there. Blocked down. Trying to work their way through. Somehow can't get the kick in. The Gaels defence standing firm. Colin Kieran was also trying to get the kick in. But there's a free out awarded to the Gaels. A line of defenders right across. 10 players holding on to the ball too long. Gaels now moving the ball. First time down the field, dropping 20 metres out. Richard Graham lobs it in and Richard has sent it over the bar. Believe it or not, it's his first point of the game, but what an individual performance he's had this afternoon. Created lots of scores. 2-12 for Gaels. 10 points. About 4.5 minutes left. Strong breeze helping the Gaels team in the second half. Forward goes Cavan Gaels again. Carol Trotty playing it forward now in front of Paul Flynn, but the ball beats him. I know he has plenty of speed and momentum, but not enough even to get to that one. Would have needed a motorcycle or something to get out to that one. But maybe when you get older, Paul, you can get one of those. Kick out. 45-metre line. Down now towards Paul Flynn again. Paul trying to trap it soccer style. Gets it up into his hands, kicks it over his head. Well, partially across now to Stephen Gaffney. A shot, a goal! A great goal by Stephen Gaffney. 3 goals and 12 for Cavan Gaels. 10 points for Den. 3.5 minutes left in the game. And that surely must be that now. All 3 goals. Great crashing shots by the Cavan Gaels players. Free for the Gaels. Lobbed in by Dominic Riley. Wide this time. Gone out over the end line and gone wide. Some great tall, sturdy players, also very mobile and skillful on this Gaels team, including Dominic Riley and Paul McCartney, Carol Crotty. There's an example now. Dominic Riley fists it in and fists it over the bar. Yes, the umpire going for the flag, and Dominic fists that one over. 3-13 to 10 points. Just over 2 minutes left in the game. An emphatic win now for the Gaels in this game, and the goals, the big difference between the sides. Jonathan Geeney with the ball. Down towards Charlotte Smith. Paul McCartney once again. Paul McCartney drops it out harmlessly to the left. The umpire, well, not the umpire, but one of the guys standing behind the end line grabbing it as it was going wide. Less than 2 minutes left. 3-13 to 10 points. As the Anglo self-photographer Colin Connaughton arrives to capture the presentation for posterity. Ball out into the centre of the field. Stalemate for a moment as they pull on it soccer style. Eventually the Gaels come away. Full forward. Cormac Nelligan, who's got a goal and 2 points. What a contribution he's made this afternoon. Jonathan Geeney, low trajectory ball down along the sideline. Trying to open up the play they do now with Cormac Nelligan going forward. Probing ball in towards Paul O'Donnell in front of the goal, but the ball knocked away from him by a Den defender there, David Costello. Referee intimates that it had gone out over the end line and gone wide. Less than 1 minute left in the game. Shot in by the Cavan Gaels team, harmlessly by Charlotte Smith. Gone out over the end line and wide once again. .313 to 10 points. Kick out only reaches about 30 metres out. Roinn Kiernan back for the ball there. He's made a difference since he came to midfield for the Den team. But the more physical, taller and stronger Gaels team going forward once again. Shot in by Richard Graham. Looks a very good one, straight over the bar for his second point of the game. Bringing their total now to 3 goals and 14 points to Den's 10 points. And that's as emphatic a win as you could hope to achieve in any man's language. The 3 goals, the big deciding factor between the teams as we make it full time. The referee now, time added on is at his discretion. Michael Henry from Belturbet. Ball hops once in the centre of the field. Den man going down on it there is Colin Kiernan, and being pulled by the jersey as he tries to retrieve the ball. Eventually tries to get the ball up. Michael Henry intimates that it is the free now to Den. Colin Kiernan forward to midfielder Michael McDermott. Scored 4 points in the game, being obstructed on his way through. Michael takes the free out of his hands, looks on target, straight in and over the bar for his 5th point of the game. Just over 1 minute of injury time played now. 3-14 to 11 points in favour of Cavan Gaels on the 14 championship final. 1994, Michael Henry calls for the ball. It's all over, and the Gaels are the champions on that scoreline of 3-14 to 11 points. And 3 of the finest goals that you could hope to see in any game we've witnessed during the 60 minutes of this game at Breffni Park this afternoon. As usual, the young players being congratulated out in the centre. Shortly the presentation will be taking place up here on the rostrum now. Final score again, Gaels 3-14, Den 11 points.
captain of the Den team and also the members of the Cavan Gaels team on the rostrum, please.
This other game, this second one is what, Willie?
A Cardi Gael, our son, Bord Pennog, Bawylum Cogordic a horse, the best jarden, Fihispontic Inta, a Conicamurns and Clehapel and you. Bawylum Cogordic a horse, the Fern Gael and Cavan, a Wooey and Corn Shaw, Satranona Shaw. A Cardi Gael, on behalf of Bord Pennog, I want to congratulate two gallant teams on a tremendous exhibition of Gaelic football here, and I want you to put your hands together and give a big round of applause to both teams. The game here today had an abundance of skills, and it is a tribute to the mentors and the trainers of both teams for the way they were tugged out here today. Victory had to go to some team, and on this occasion Cavan Gaels brought home the cup. Gaels gave us a great first half. They played their heart out, but they were up against a great Cavan team. This Cavan team have been with us for quite a long time, from under 10 right up, and it was a tribute to Den that they kept down the scores. I want to congratulate Den for the great game they gave us. To Cavan Gaels I say, congratulations, well done, you deserve your reward. Agus anish, tá hasaram, an cornchin a bronu, our captain Gael and Cavan, Carl Crotty. Now I will call on the captain of the victorious Cavan Gaels, Kieran Crotty, to say a few words.
I'd like to thank Mick Flynn and Finian for training us the whole year. And I'd like to thank the boys putting in a great effort. And hard luck to Den putting in a great game. I'd like to give them 3 cheers. Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray!
And now I will call on the captain of the Den team, Michael McDermott, to say a few words. Michael.
You said you really have kids.
No, I'd like to congratulate the Cavan Gaels team in winning, and I'd like to thank Matt McCarran and Seamus McCarran, Vinnie Lynch and Jim McCarran for training us all through the year.
And I want to thank Michael Henry and his officials for the efficient way they carried out their duties here today.
The Under-14 Championship final goes to Cavan Gaels on the scoreline 3-14 to Den's 11 points. We hope that you enjoy this video in the years to come. It's been a great game. From Sean McMahon, until the next time, bye-bye to you.